everyone, and welcome back to another week of homework discussion. I'm Lisa from Shady Tree Stitches, and today we have two visual guests. We have Lisa from Western Sydney.
Yep.
and we have Laurie back. She's not hidden this time, so you can see who she is from America, from Texas. So thanks for joining me, girls. And we're going to go through and discuss the homework that's been released so far today, up to today. All right, we'll start as usual with the Cross Stitches Journal and Daily 30. So what have we got happening there, Laurie?
We have Robin Week starting March 19th through April 2nd. And there's 7 prompts, 100 or 200 stitches. So the first prompt, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Like other migratory birds, robins don't maintain pair bonds and often take new mates each spring. Male robins put on strutting courtship displays for females, such as belting their song, shaking their wings, fluffing their tail feathers, stitch on a whip that courted you for a while before you gave in and started it.
All right, what do you got, Lisa?
Mine is going to be Sunday Delight, which is this one, because I had it for a very long time before I just said, nope, got to start it.
Awesome. This one was, I found that this homework prompt's pretty easy because so many pieces have I thought about. So I was wanting to do Little House Neighborhood for a while, and I got it all kitted up, and then Jenny and I decided to do it together, and we had to wait till we could actually find a date that we could both get on and stitch together to start it. So I had it all kitted up for quite a few months before I was able to start it. So that's what I'm going to work on.
Nice. Mine was As the Leaves Turn. And that is because it was a hate. I was a little intimidated, but I looked at it for a good 4 years and I finally bit, and I'm glad I did.
Does that one have a lot of block colors in it? Because that looks pretty cool.
It does. It does. It's not too confetti heavy.
I like that one. I like those designs. Which designer is that one?
Jane Worcester Scott.
Yeah.
Who reproduced it.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, what's next?
Second prompt, robins have a sweet tooth. Fruits, berries, sweet cakes, and even pastry dough are their favorites. Put stitches into a piece that has something in the design that a robin would like to nibble on.
A lot of mine are going to be Sunday Delight this week, just because I can fit them all in and I want progress on it. But same again, because it's got cherries down the bottom. It's got the banana as well. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm just I'm trying to work out my sizings on my screen to make life work for me, and I keep losing you guys. There you go. Okay. Well, I think I'm wanting to finish my March Mayhem pieces because it's the end of March, and I've got 2 left to work on from the list that were chosen for me, and this is one of them, Christmas by the Cricket Collection, and that gingerbread man at the end is very sweet, especially the icing on him. So I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
Nice. I am going to work on Sugar Plum. There you go. Dancing Sugar Plums. This is, I believe, Blackbird Designs. They had a little booklet of smalls.
Nice.
There you go.
Cute.
Very cute.
Sugar plums would be sweet.
Okay. Number 3, robins use pieces of straw, twigs, and dry leaves to build cup-shaped nests. They also add moss, mud, and sometimes feathers to mend and line the interior. Stitch on a piece that has something a robin might use to build its nest in the design.
Yep. Again, Sunday Delight. It's got all these leaves here. And yeah, they could use those for their nest.
It's really good when you find a piece you want to work on and you can get a lot of.
Yeah.
I'm very similar, so you're going to see this one a few times today. This is my Little House Neighborhood because I'm really close to finishing it. So I tried to fit it into as many prompts as I wanted to. I've just moved it away from my zombie run because it's nearly finished. So I'm going to transfer something else in for the start of April.
Nice.
But of course, there's plenty of leaves and twigs and things there. All the wool from the sheep's back.
I will do Stream at Darhaven. It's a golden kite, but down here on the bank, there's even moss here, but a lot of twigs and things that a robin could use, mud.
I love the way that reflection's making those arches, Laurie. Very cool.
Okay, number 4. On average, robins live for 2 years in the wild. Put stitches in your robin, a piece that you've been working on for at least 2 years.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do Trainer Dreams for that one.
You and your dragons.
I know, you know I love them. Because I actually started that one in 2015.
That's a substantial time. You need to get on
Yeah,
finishing that.
I know, it's so close too.
I'm just looking for my picture for mine. Mine is going to be my number sampler that I've been working on the last few weeks, because it is what I have currently at hand. There it is. I need to put a cover picture on here, but here's where it was at the start of the year. So working on that one, because that is like over a decade old. I was working on that before I stopped stitching for a while. So that's what I'm going to work on.
Nice. I'll be working on Stream at Darhaven again. I started that in 2016. It's a golden kite, so it's massive, kind of like a hade. So that's my robin.
Cool.
Okay, the male robin. There we go. Make sure I'm on the right prompt. The male robin sings a beautiful tune. He is often the last bird heard as the sun sets. Put stitches in your last whip that you worked on before this event was published.
Yeah. Well, that was Sunday Delight, obviously, because I'm working heaps on it. So I'll just keep working on that one.
And I'm the same. I was actually working on my Little House Neighborhood, trying to get it to the point where I could roll it over. So I'll be doing more on that. Yay for me.
So the last whip that I was working on was Holiday Quaker before the event was published. So that one, very fun.
It is. It's so cool.
That's cool.
Okay. The American robin is the state bird for Connecticut, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Choose one of these 3 states and tie one of your whips into something that you can relate to that state.
I had to do a lot of Googling for this one,
Yes.
being in Australia, obviously. And I found out that Wisconsin is the dairy capital in the US. And so I figured, well, they put milk. Milk's obviously dairy, and milk is in ice cream.
That
so
works.
I'm going to work on Sunday Delight. And that took a lot of Googling to find all of that out.
Yes, it was quite a challenge for those of us who have no idea. Like you say those state names and we go, oh yeah, they're states in America. Like we can recognize the names. But luckily I get to talk to lots of people on here. So I got quite a few ideas, but then I decided, you know what, doesn't fit in with any of the pieces I want to work on this week. So I'm using my last free pass of the month. So what else can you tell us about those states, Laurie, to give people ideas? Because you're the only one on here who have any idea.
I know Michigan is up between the Great Lakes, so water is something I would relate to that. So I'm going to do Cozy Cove. It has a few things in it. It has grazing livestock in the background there, the cows, and then it has water that could be a shore of one of the Great Lakes because it looks kind of like the ocean and it's not very many waves. So
it's also got a horse and cart, which is not necessarily relevant, but isn't Michigan the state where Detroit is?
Yes.
And Detroit's like the car manufacturing something or other. Yes. So you could possibly do something that relates to that.
Sure. Very true.
Yeah. So anyway, just do some Googling on the states if you don't know.
Yep.
And you'll find something to do. And as with all these prompts, it's just our opinion. We have absolutely no ownership of the right or wrong answers.
Mm-hmm. And last prompt is robins sometimes will flock to fermented berries. By ingesting large quantities, they appear to be drunk and exhibit behaviors that, such as falling over while walking. Stitch on a whip that makes you happy.
So I will probably do Sunday Delight. Just again, I'm
That's
loving the
another-
progress in it.
I really like these easy prompts because you can pretty much fit anything into it. And if you're trying to finish something off, you can. So mine's a finish off. It's a different one. So I'll show you. This is my last Mayhem whip, which is the world's postage stamp. And it makes me happy because of its bright colours, but also the thought of travelling to all those different countries.
Mine will be Holiday Quaker. It's my fun, happy piece because it has large blocks of color and it's just a fun stitch.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's good. So it's 100 or 200 stitches this week.
Yep.
So it's nice and easy way to end off the month. Awesome. All right. So next we've got the no new starts. Now, what do we've got a few things happening. No new starts, Lisa. What do we got?
Yeah. So we've got the Watch Your Sign Aries happening at the moment from March 21st to April 21st. And the first one is Fire Sign.
Fire sign. Okay.
Yep.
I haven't actually done any preparation for these yet. Have you?
Neither have I. No.
That's all right. Fire sign.
I mean, I could do. Sorry.
No, I'm thinking as well as those pieces that I showed you I'm working on this week. There's no fire in them, but I'm wanting to do a little bit of work on my full coverages. So I'm actually going to see, I'm pretty sure there is fire in one of them. I'm just trying to look. What do you got, Laurie?
I have Holiday Quaker. The closest I could get to fire is a candle that's burning. There's a little flame right there.
That works. All right, I found mine. Mine will probably be The Christmas House by Artisy because there is a fireplace down in the bottom corner here.
Probably any of my Randall Spangler ones that I've already shown because the dragons breathe fire.
That, of course.
Yes,
that's pretty
nice and easy. So animal, we've got ram or sheep.
Yes. Well, I've got a few choices for this, and I think I had a sheep in one of the ones I just looked at. But I've got another one in mind. It's just a matter of scrolling through the picture to find it. My angel, lion and lamb from heaven and earth, because it has got a lamb in it, is what I'm thinking. It's not jumping out at me. There it is. I think I haven't done any work on that this year, so I want to do some work on that because of that baby lamb.
That's gorgeous.
It is pretty.
I don't have anything for that one.
I don't either.
No sheep for that. That's all right. But a good thing is at least you don't have to do them. It's all an option.
Yeah. So the gem is diamond.
There's a few ways you could look at that. I mean, a sparkly white diamond thing, in which case I probably would actually stick to doing the stars in the sky on the angel, lion and lamb. But I'm wondering, you could also possibly take it literally and do a diamond shape.
Yes.
So if you've got something that is a diamond shape, you could do that, I would think. Yeah, so either my winter or my angel is where I think I'd go. I'd stick to the diamond snow crystals.
I have a similar idea with Holiday Quaker. One of the snowflakes is an actual diamond shape.
Perfect.
sparkly opalescent fabric. So it's kind of sparkly like a diamond.
And it's double dipping, and that's what we try and do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't have anything for that one yet. So there is one, it's a Sonic the Hedgehog one that is hopefully released soon, and that actually has the Chaos Emeralds, which look like diamonds in it.
Ooh, cool.
So if that got released in time, I could work on that one. But I don't actually have the picture because it hasn't been released yet. And the flowers is sweet peas and daisies.
Okay, well, again, you've got to try and have some sort of a flower that resembles them. What's a sweet pea look like? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
I'm good with daisies, so
Okay.
I'm going for the daisy, which is why I haven't looked up a sweet pea, because it's hard to see in this picture, but there's little white flowers in the grass in Little House Neighborhood.
Right. It's pretty. It's like red and pink. I just
Okay.
Googled it. Yeah. Little red and pink flowers.
So you got any red and pink or white flowers, Laurie?
Yes, I am going to do a language of flowers. Not quite, but there's a lot of like light pink flowers here and there. So I don't know if that would fly, but I think I would try.
And you're a poet and you don't know it. What about you, Lisa?
I do have Tartar Spring that has all these little pink flowers on it that I could use.
That would be good. And that's basically it for No New Starts, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, because that started on the 21st, so it's been going for a couple of days. All right. All right. So the next things we have happening is the Semi-sane. Everything's plodding along. Which events are you guys doing in Semi-sane this month?
I'm doing Master Stitch, which has been so much fun. I am absolutely loving it, and that's why I have been sticking to Sunday Delight, because it had so many different blocks of those colours that I needed for my codes. It's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. That's good. What about you, Laurie?
Alphabet. I am doing Language of Flowers that I just showed. Do you want me to show it again?
Sure.
Okay. Let me click there. So it has the full alphabet and it has flowers to stitch along with it. But for Alphabet, you just have to make sure you have the letter done and you can fill in the flowers as you will.
Yeah.
Well, your F and G are close because we moved to letter G on Friday, isn't it?
Yes.
What about you, Lisa? What are you doing for your alphabet?
I've still got Disney. Still trying to catch up a little bit on that one. I'll just share it. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so just still trying to catch up a little bit, but because of Master Stitch, it sort of got pushed.
That's the thing with the Semi-sanes. They have so many different things.
And so many fun things.
You've got to choose. You can't do them all. It's just not possible. So I had to let my Master Stitch slide because I just wasn't able to focus on the 100 stitches of a colour because I was trying to do everything else for Crystal and Dragon Dynasty. So yeah, we're having lots of fun in them. What's happening in Crystal at the moment? Laurie, you got any ideas?
Crystal Academy, we are on a field trip. And so every day there's a prompt, and the stitch goal has been going up from 1,500 stitches. We're now at 5,000 stitches for the day.
Wow.
Super fun. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure for the group, and it's very fun, very fun.
Yeah, we're enjoying the story themed sort of activities. So Crystal Academy has that. I know that I like the team stitching as well, but the 1,500 a day was only a little amount, which was a little bit challenging because for me, I never got to stitch because my team had 1,500 done before I even finished work. So the 3,000 was a good amount, and then they went to 4,000 yesterday and 5,000 today. So I'm getting the feeling they don't want us to finish it each day. I think they actually want us to take a bit longer to get to where we're going. We're on a scavenger hunt, so we're looking for different things. And in Dragon Dynasty, I'm having lots of fun in that. It's a big storytelling one. So our team is the McCaffrey Dynasty. Laurie and I are in that team, and we have just found our first dragon essence and returned safely back to base.
Well done.
So we're now preparing for a round of ostrich jousting next week.
Yes.
Right.
And
That sounds really interesting.
it is, and it is really interesting. And we're definitely still keen to find some more people who want to play as rogues, which is just like lonely people who aren't really with the team. They just do some stitching and, you know, give gifts to people. So if you're interested in joining that game, they still have openings. So, you know, look for Dynasty of Dragons and join it. It's lots of fun, isn't it, Laurie?
Please join. And Heather, the moderator for the group and the creator of the concept, she just put out a post asking if rogues wanted to participate in the joust. So that was great.
Yeah, I think they're going to make a little rogue team, so that's pretty cool. So it gives you a lot of variety. And the best thing about the dragon one is, as far as I know, you don't have to stitch on anything in particular. It's just the number of stitches, which makes it really easy to double dip. And with Crystal Academy, some things are anything you like and other things are to a theme, so you get a bit of a mixture of both. So they're both fun groups to be involved in if you like being part of a team and you're fairly competitive. Not things to be in if you like to just stitch every now and then.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got the Supernatural Stitches Weekly.
Sorry, Lisa, before we do Supernatural, can we just pause for 1 second?
Yep, we can. All right, so remember Supernatural it's in a group that's still open if you're interested, and the organizer puts out a whole heap of well thought out prompts every week that you can stitch on, and the idea is that you want to stitch on them to earn your own points that you can then attribute across to money to spend on your stash. My dog is sneezing in the background. So it's an interesting sneeze. This week it is Series 4, Episode 5, Monster Movie. I'm going to read them to you this week because there's a lot of creativity in these. Sometimes I just jump to it. So you just stitch however many hundreds you want to. All right, loneliness will make a man do crazy things. Monsters too, I guess. In a blink and you'll miss it moment, this week's episode opens with a shift of the sign from Pennsylvania to Transylvania. Stitch on a geography-related project. Yep. So, Laurie, you're going to be first in this rotation.
It will be Stream at Darhaven because it is actually a deer park, a national park in Norway, I believe. I'll put it up just one more time so that you can see. So that's a shot apparently taken in the park.
There you go. Lisa?
Maybe I could get away with using one of my TARDIS ones because, you know, they go to all different places.
Well, that's travel. You travel in the TARDIS.
Exactly. You travel in the TARDIS to all different places. So,
and again, these are fairly flexible as long as you can explain it. You know, I've never been knocked back. And for me, it would be my postage stamps that you've already seen. The boys are happy to be dealing with a standard monster case instead of the end of the world. A black and white case, as Dean puts it, echoing the black and white film. Stitch on a monochrome piece.
So does that mean it can only be black and white?
No, monochrome means one colour.
Ah, okay. No, I don't have anything with any one colour.
Okay, I do. The Zimmerman coverlet. Oops, gotta open it up. I do want to do a correction while my file is opening. That Darhaven Park is in just north of Copenhagen in Denmark. That's my correction.
That's all right.
Technical difficulties. There we go.
I know.
The Zimmerman coverlet. I am stitching it, actually flip this, my fabric is blue, and I'm stitching using 712, DMC 712.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Well, mine is possibly pushing the barrow just ever so slightly, but All Hallows Eve to me is a monochrome piece, even though it actually has two colors in it. Because see, it's got the black and then it's got the yellow. And as you can see, I'm stitching the black in purple. So I would like to try and use that one, I think, because it will come in handy further down as well. In the next prompt, actually. So the next prompt is when the boys get to Canonsburg, PA, it's Oktoberfest. Work on a Halloween or Dark 30 project. So my Halloween project would be that one I was just working on, although I generally try to not double up in these because there's no point, because it's however many hundred stitches I do. What's a Dark 30 project? Do you know, Laurie? Because we're not familiar with that term.
I don't. I've
No.
never heard it before either.
Well, there you go, viewers. Something for you to educate us on. If you know what a Dark 30 project is, please feel free to comment below and we'll know what it is. So any Halloween projects, girls?
I don't have any actual Halloween ones, but I do have my TARDIS Autumn has pumpkins in it.
Well, that's food.
Which, yeah.
And Halloween.
Which, yeah.
For me, as the leaves turn, that I've shown before, but I'll put it up there. It's actually in a pumpkin patch, and it's definitely full on autumn there. So you could say it's getting ready for Halloween.
Yes. And you guys could really, if you wanted to double dip that one with the next prompt, which is Dean dives into the festival with a big pretzel and beer, and the witnesses they interview are very committed to their oversized beverages. Stitch on a project with any food or drink. So for me, while you guys are looking, I would double dip my Christmas because of that gingerbread man again, because he's food.
Yeah. Yeah, probably, yeah, my TARDIS Autumn because it's got it's got pumpkins in it.
Or you could do your ice cream one.
Or I could do my ice cream one.
I actually have a birthday stocking, weird as it might sound. I don't know if it's big enough for you, but it has a birthday cake right there in the middle of it.
It does, yes. Well, that's definitely food.
Yeah.
All right, the next one we won't go through, but it's stitch on a project with a title that starts with the letter in rehymenated, REHYMENATED, or was produced by a design company or person, designed by a person with a first or last name that starts with one of those letters. So that would be pretty easy to find something like that. Dean confronts the monster and removes his ear, but he escapes on a moped with his cape fluttering behind him. Stitch on a project that shows a mode of transportation. I know where you're going.
Train of Dreams.
Well, do you know what?
Or the TARDIS.
No, I was thinking Train of Dreams for me because I haven't worked on that this year.
Oh.
So Train of Dreams. Instead, I want to do my full coverages.
Nice. I would do as the leaves turn. There's a horse and buggy and a trolley in the background. So
awesome. While Sam's stalking Ed and his Casio, Dean is confessing to Jamie that after his very near-death experience, he feels saving people's a gift, and they're on a mission from God, a la Blues Brothers. Stitch on a project you plan to give the gift, or which references God.
I'll go. The birthday stocking. The only purpose in that stocking I could think of is to give someone a gift. So you stuff it with goodies and give it on their birthday. So
that makes sense. Well, for me, I will be double dipping this one. The angel, lion, and lamb. That definitely references God.
Yeah. Mine's a gift for one of my boys because they love Yoshi. So when it's done, it's actually hanging in one of their rooms.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
So many Yoshis. Wow.
I know.
Okay, the next one is after Lucy drugs Dean and Jamie and Dean regains consciousness in a Frankenstein scenario dressed in lederhosen, Sam finds and greets him with, "Hey there, Hansel." Stitch on a project with a human figure wearing traditional regional clothing, all which references a fairy tale. So while you guys are thinking about that, I've already got mine because, again, full coverage. Once upon a fairy tale.
That would definitely qualify.
So qualifies for both those things. Anything else?
I think I would have to not do that prompt.
That's fine. You don't have to do them all.
Yeah. I've probably got Disney Alphabet because it's got a lot of fairy tales actually in that one.
Yep. Awesome. The monster has a coupon for the pizza delivery dude. Stitch on a project that you've kitted up with discounted or sale merchandise. Now, I don't think we need to necessarily show this, but for me, I've got plenty of those because I try and use discounted stuff as much as possible. Is there anything in particular you guys wanted to share on that one? Nope. All right.
I've got probably Yoshi because I didn't actually buy any cotton for that. I used everything that I already had.
Oh, well, that's very savvy of you. The monster insists that Jamie put on the prop gown to fit his mental picture of his bride, and Lucy's lipstick-covered napkins are a clue. Stitch on a lovely lady in a long gown. So I'm going to jump in. Again, one I haven't stitched on is Savannah's Curtsy. She's a lovely lady in a long brown gown.
I would do As the Leaves Turn. Would you have to actually stitch on the person?
It does say stitch on a lovely lady in a long gown.
Okay.
As opposed to, say, stitch on a piece that has a lovely lady in a long gown.
Got it. So I would have to jump and stitch the lady here. She's in a long gown and she has her hair in a bun, so I think she's lovely.
What about you, Lisa?
Yep. In my Disney Alphabet, you can see Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and she's got her lovely long gown.
Beautiful. All right, second to last prompt. Beauty kills the Beast with John's 1911 with silver bullets. Stitch on a project with metallic threads. Now, again, that's a bit of a dubious discussion because it says stitch on a project with metallic threads. Does it mean the project has metallic threads, or do you need to stitch with the actual metallic threads? If I was going to feel like doing that, it would be my 12 Days of Christmas because all the borders are gold thread.
Wow. I avoid everything with metallic threads and I substitute for other options. I don't like using it.
Fair enough. Anything for you, Laurie?
Yes. Alhambra Garden. It has metallic thread around the fountain and up here in the little, I don't know what you call that, but it looks like a peacock feather.
It does.
There's some metallic thread up there.
Awesome. All right, and the last prompt is Dean gets his happy ending and Sam names the movie Dean would enact, given the opportunity. Porky's 2, stitch on a design in a series. So I have lots of options for that one.
Yeah.
Probably one of my waxing moon design houses. Anything for you guys?
My TARDIS ones, because it's got the 4 seasons, it's got one for each season.
Yep. And Laurie?
Yep.
My smalls for Christmas, the sugar plum, that's in a booklet with 3, and also the stocking is also in a booklet with 3 others.
All right. Well, that's us done for this week. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to catching you guys next weekend. Happy stitching, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.